Hey guys, GamerVaults Kyle here, back with another tutorial from where we left off. So let's see where we got up to. Okay, so in this tutorial I'll be doing spawning and room design, probably. So let's start with the controller object. Controller object is basically the controller that controls most of the set variables in the game, and in this case spawning. So if we create that, and always put it in the room, never forget about putting it in the room. Okay, so first we need it to set some variables when the game first starts. So if we have spawn delay equals, say, 60, which is 60 steps, which is 2 seconds. We shall also have the step event, which will spawn the enemies using the step event. So, if floor random 60 equals 0, instance create Okay, so what this basically does is if it would every step, which is 1 second, if floor, which rounds it to the nearest decimal place, then random from 0 to 60, if that equals 0, it will then carry this out. So it'll create an enemy object at a random x variable at the -20 y coordinate. So let's try that out. And then once that's spawned, the enemies will come down. Yep, you can see them spawning over there. But for some reason it's the same X, so I must have done something wrong. Okay, let's try this out. Remember, always test your games. Always. Oh. What have I done now? Okay. There, okay, sorry. So, it will create an instance at a random number between 0 and the room width, which in this case is 640, at the -20 coordinate, spawning an enemy. Okay, so let's test this out. The amount that it will spawn will be crazy for now, but we can soon fix that. Yeah. But there's a problem. When we destroy one of them, it destroys all of them. Okay, so let's fix that. So what I'm thinking is it will be something to do with this. So if we take this out, copy it and paste it in the enemy collision with the bullet, we'll do the exact same thing. And let's test that out. There, that seems to work. Yep, great. Now, since we've got the spawning set up, we can also alter how often they spawn. So basically, the higher this number, the less chance they'll spawn. So, if we have it 70, they'll spawn a 1 in 70 chance of the enemy actually spawning in the room. Okay, so, now we need a background. So we use this horrible background that I already have on here, and make it look horrible. But it's a background. Or you can just have a plain, say, black background without the back. But it looks horrible on the plane. So if we just have a nice plain white background for now. So yeah, that's a nice simple game there. We can also add in the destroy event, which occurs when the instance is destroyed, we can also use the button function of create an explosion effect. So you got all the different types of explosions: explosion, ring, ellipse, firework, smoke, etc. So if we just have an explosion with a goldy color, relative, which will spawn it where the sprite is centered, and we'll have it a medium explosion. So let's try it out. This should add more atmosphere and effect to the game. Yeah, the effect isn't brilliant, but it works. So we can also try firework. And you could also have it in the step event of the bullet, so it creates a particle effect when it's moving, although this tends to lag the game a bit, so I don't recommend it, but we'll try it anyway. Make it green, because the bullet's green, and we'll have it small, relative. Let's have a spark. See what this looks like. Yeah, adds a bit more atmosphere to the game. So the moving of the plane's a bit slow there, isn't it? So if we change the speeds in here to about 3, this should allow us to move a bit faster when we're playing the game. Give us more of a chance to actually win. Yeah, let's try that now. Yeah, that's a bit better. You can also move forward, backwards. But there's a problem. You can leave the room. So, we need to add a border. There are multiple ways of doing this. There's setting it so the player can't actually press up, left, down, or right whilst it's in a certain position, but I like to do it with blocks, which is basically an object that will stop it from leaving the room. So if we call it sprite block, edit sprite, this sprite won't be visible in game, so it doesn't really matter what it looks like. So create new object, obj block, and untick the visible and tick solid. And then where you don't want your plane to go, just outline the room with it. Remember not to delete the controller while you're there. Oops. This is messy, but it doesn't matter too much for this example. So now in the player event, in the player object even, we have to add a collision with the block, which will stop the plane dead on. So instead of typing, so if you just type speed equals 0, and this should work. Yeah, there you go. You can't go back, and you can't go out there either. Okay, that's all great, like it is. So, we got the room, we got the player, the enemy, the bullets, and the controller. So, that'll do for this episode. I will see you all again in the next tutorial. So, the usual, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you have any questions. Thank you and goodbye.